Hello, everyone. Nice to see so many familiar faces from the community. I can't greet everyone, but it's so many people, and it's great to see you here. So, welcome to I think it's our third community call, and we have some topics to discuss regarding events, regarding root nodes or development. To give you a little heads up, what happened in the last 4 or 6 weeks, and to give you a little overview. Today I will be joined by Martin and Dino. They will introduce themselves as soon as I give them the right to speak. For full disclosure, this call will be recorded, so if you decide to raise your voice, you will be recorded as well. So I would start to invite Dino and Martin first, so they can give a little introduction to themselves. Hey, how are you?
Hey, hello everyone.
Hello, how are you both?
Good.
Good.
They got a community call.
Yeah, it's finally happening, another community call. So I would say most of the users know me. I'm Janos. I'm doing the community management on the server, and I'm taking care of your tickets and of your questions in the chat. I would say, Dino, would you like to start with a small introduction of yourself?
Sure. As I said, nice day to have a community call. Friday is always a good day. So hello everyone once again. My name is Dino. I'm supporting the ecosystem development of Q. And to be more precise, we can say that on a daily basis, I'm talking and supporting projects that are interested building on or with Q. So yeah, I'm looking forward to delivering some updates to Q community. I think you already know Martin and Janos. So hello from my side as well.
Maybe Martin, it would be great if you give another introduction as well. So
quick intro from my side. Thanks, Yannick, first of all, for organizing all of that, and great to see so many participants. Really cool to see that the numbers are increasing in every call. That's fantastic. So quick intro for myself. I've been with the Q protocol basically from the beginning. So have been involved in the concept work, the design, and today what I do is, on the one hand, similarly to Dino, trying to support the ecosystem, support people building on Q, using Q, interacting with Q, but also working on protocol development, so trying to make things better and useful for people to build on.
That's great. So the last 3 calls you was also in this call. So I think many people of our current audience know you, Martin. So last month was pretty packed. So the Q community members were in Denver. The Q community members were in Paris on events and made experiences there. And as we all know, that were big events. And what experience do you had on those events? And can you tell something about it? What you learned and whatever? So I would say, Dino, would be great if you start with Paris, and then we go over to the big event Denver.
That makes sense, although Paris was also a big event, not as Denver, but as we went to Denver, I made a stop in Paris to participate in NFT Paris show and some other related side events, such as a BGA or a Blockchain Gaming Alliance. Maybe some of you have heard. Yes, we are exploring gaming aspect of blockchain industry as well. So we had to do our research there. Anyways, NFT Paris show was a large and I would say glamorous event in Paris style. The main focus was mostly on NFT artists, NFT utilities, and blockchain gaming. So it was a good space to meet people that are in that space, I would say. But from some of the cooler connections, I had the opportunity to speak with people that are working with Sandbox, even Ledger Wallet. Maybe you heard of Morales, Ivan on Tech, the YouTuber. I started learning from his videos. And other talented people working on some very, very interesting projects, I would say. But as NFT Paris ended, we took a very long trip to Denver, and I would say that we had, from my experience, an awesome time meeting builders from all over the world, because Denver is the biggest event, at least at that part of the world. But not only that, Q had an awesome booth in the DAO section of the conference and hosted some very productive workshops. Maybe Martin could give more inside info what happened on the workshops.
Yeah, sure. So we did a couple of both talks and workshops, all really evolving around the topic of DAO governance, DAO constitutions. So, as you all probably know, one of the core aspects of Q as a protocol is that it supports governance, as we say, beyond code is law. So you can not only build on Q, use smart contracts, as you can on Ethereum or other blockchains, but also there is, we have root nodes, we have expert panels, we have a dispute resolution mechanism that's all baked into the protocol that people can use. And not only people, but also companies or DAOs, decentralized organizations of different shapes and forms can use. So a big aspect of that was reaching out in Denver to the community, which is engaged in building DAOs, in designing DAOs, and pushing that space forward. So we had a speech at the main event, ETH Denver, but then also some workshops on side events, some of which we organized ourselves, also collaborating with other people there. So we had one which was great together with LexDAO on DAO constitutions. So that was a smaller workshop, maybe 40 people there, but very focused people from the governance community, from larger protocols like MakerDAO, but also academics from universities, and just students and builders who build governance into their protocols and who are active in that. So that was really interesting, also getting different perspectives there. So the main focus was that we asked the question, does your DAO need a constitution? Which is, I think, kind of maybe even a provocative statement. So many DAOs just spin up constitutions because that's what you do these days as a DAO. But we asked the question, do you even need that? And of course, for many DAOs, the question will be yes. The answer will be yes. But there are a lot of questions you need to ask if you really want to make it work. And, Q can support with that. So that was one major theme of the workshop there. We also had a workshop or a conversation at Shelling Point, which is a side event. Some of you might have heard of it. And also with MetaGov, which is a DAO research community that is very active in the space. We did a workshop together at their house. They had an Airbnb rented and opened that up for people to discuss all topics about decentralized governance. And of course, this was right down our path, basically. So to wrap it up, Dino, you asked about the workshops. I think they were very productive. So it was almost like working meetings, not really us talking, but interacting with members from the community that is focused on DAO governance, decentralized governance, protocol governance. And we took a lot of inspiration with us that we're also now working on to incorporate into Q and incorporate into things like templates that people can use when building on Q.
Do you know, maybe not an exact number, but around about, do you know how many people came to that workshop?
That's a good question. So like the smaller ones, maybe maybe 40 around, like the focused ones, the larger ones, maybe 100, 150, something like that.
Well, that's good. That's a great number, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the
out of interest.
Yeah. Sorry, Janusz, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to mention that's a great number, and it shows interest in the governance topic, and that it also shows interest in beyond Code's law. That's great.
Yeah, I think generally that is one of the takeaways from ETH Denver, that a lot of people we talked to there, got very quickly what we're doing. That's great. And on the other hand, we received a lot of feedback that this is something that is really needed in the space, to provide better decentralized governance for other protocols, but also that there aren't really many people doing that in any way that's similar to Q. So it is really in the market.
That's nice. That's nice. I mean, it's great to hear this positive news. But we also had different stuff in Denver, and that were a booth and merch. And I think there is Dino, the right person, to tell us what happened in the booth.
Yeah, booth was an also amazing experience. I was personally supporting the booth with Diana. Maybe you know her if you follow us on Twitter. There are pictures from the booth, and Andre. So from the early morning, there was like a ton of people, always crowded and very busy. So people were learning about Q. There were a few head turners, especially from lawyers. We had a large banners that was saying "Beyond Code is Law," and everybody in the law space was like, "Okay, tell me more. I want to learn more." So it was nice, like talking to people, see in their eyes that they are getting interested, and from that experience, you're doing the right thing. But not only that, we from the, I would say, marketing perspective of the booth, we looked very good because our merch was like almost literally stolen. Maybe not stolen, that's not the word, but we gave away like hundreds of shirts, hoodies, hats, stickers, and other items. People were really, really excited, and they commented like how Q has an awesome swag in their American accent. So we were really proud that we can compete with good presentation of what Q is, and also have other people that are coming to the space, don't know anything about governance, and they can see our logos, and they can like and wear our merch. So that's a nice way to introduce Q as well. Talking about merch, I think because it was such a large success, I think maybe we could have some giveaway today, or at least announce it. I think Yannick, maybe we can talk more about the glasses that we're gonna give away, special design Q glasses.
Yeah, you mean that the Q community isn't sunburned, or what?
Yeah, the summer is coming. You need to have your glasses.
Yeah. It's true. Normally, I always give a weather report in the beginning of the community call, but it's only raining in Germany, so I don't have. I can't say everyone it's raining every time it's raining in Germany. But yeah, like you already mentioned, there's a little giveaway for 3 sunglasses in Q design, and give me 2 seconds. I need to open the channel for it. And okay. So everyone should see now over the stage channel. We are currently in a call questions channel. There is a little Q sunglasses giveaway, and you have to click on the participate button to be a part of the giveaway. And the 3 winners will be chosen at 12 p.m. UTC. So that's around 45 minutes from now. We will contact the winners over a Discord ticket. So just chill out. We will get in contact with you if you won, and I would say let's move over to another topic. I mean, we just had Denver, we had Paris, we talked about it, and so let's make a little recap, a little summary. What are your takeaways? And I don't mean food with that. Yeah, I mean what you experienced, what you learned, something like a summary. I would say
Martin,
Dino
would
or
you like to
Martin,
start?
some of you.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. So first of all, takeaway from East Denver is that there was no feeling of a bear market at all. So tons of people, everyone's building a lot of new stuff, also things that are new, cool. So a lot of CK stuff that was presented there, a lot of gaming stuff, also like Dina mentioned previously. So there wasn't, well, maybe that's a sign of a bear market. There wasn't much discussion about price and trading. So it was really very much, a conference, including the side events, focus on people who actually build stuff. But no sign of a bear market, and very positive. And I think generally the vibes were very good. So very easy to talk to people, to get in touch, and just good to be part of that broader community.
Yeah, that's great. Do you want to add something, Dino, or are you fine with?
Yeah, as I said, we met many great individuals, but to me, I would say even more importantly, we educated and caused sparks of major interest from other participants of the event. From eDenver experience, I'm getting the vibes that Q is steadily positioning itself as an industry leader of decentralized governance, and from now on, getting recognized for it. That's all.
Yeah, but that's enough. That's great. So it's like I already said. It's great to hear that there is so much interest in this topic. But to be honest, this is not the only two events where the Q community will be, right? So is there in 2023 anything else where people can meet the Q community?
We have had some discussions on what are some priorities and where we believe that Q will have benefit the most, and where people will be interested the most in Q. So currently, the closest one or the nearest one, depends where you live, is DAO Tokyo. It's going to be happening on the 13th of April. We're going to have a panel, and we're going to be sponsoring the event. So if you're in Tokyo, please come and visit us. We're going to be attending at ETH Tokyo as well. So why not have a coffee and talk in person, meet the team. But if Tokyo is far away from where you live, Consensus in Austin, also in April, from 26th to 28th of April. And if that is not your cup of tea, maybe the Daoist is on 24th of April. We're going to have a booth, workshop, and a keynote talk. So that is what is confirmed so far for this year. I believe we will have more, some across Europe and some out of Europe. Once we are ready to announce it, we will be doing that. Currently, preparations are in plans for DAO Tokyo, Consensus, and others as well.
Sounds like the year of jet lag. To be honest. it's
Year of
the year of
governance.
jet lag. Yeah, great. So many conferences. I mean, Tokyo is pretty close, like you already mentioned, and it will be also an interesting event.
If you're from Tokyo, then it's very close to you.
To me?
No. If a person is from Tokyo, it's very, very close.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are so many events this year where we all can meet each other, and I think there will be definitely some contact points in the future, and I'm happy to hear more stories about it. So if anyone in the community meets the Q community members at the event, I would be happy if you share your story in Discord, so we can see it and read it and have a nice time together.
And
So
you need to be because the merch is disappearing.
yeah, the merch. And I would like to have some pictures of sunglasses, yeah, with
Yeah,
the Q sunglasses.
on the
Okay,
beach.
I would say let's move on to root nodes. Root nodes is such an important topic in Q. It's a very unique topic actually. So it's worth mentioning this from time to time. How you become a root node and actually what your responsibilities are as a root node, because it's so important. Martin, I think you are the right guy for this. Can you dive with us in this topic?
Sure. So just a quick reminder or recap. I think most of you will probably be familiar with the term root node. Nevertheless, very briefly, what is a root node? So root nodes are full nodes, but they're not, unlike validator nodes, they're not confirming transactions, they're not producing blocks, but they have a very specific function within the governance of Q. So basically, their role is described in the Q constitution, and they have the task to monitor the network, monitor what's going on, and make sure that whatever is in the constitution that's binding for everyone, that's open to everyone, to enforce that. So, for example, what they do very concretely is enforce slashing decisions. So, if there is a root validator node that should be slashed, unlike in other networks where it's either automatic or sometimes also based on what is called social slashing, so up to the community to decide. In Q, it's based on the rule set, the Q constitution, and the root nodes then execute that. So it's a job, if you will, that has quite a lot of responsibility, but it really makes Q as a system more robust, but also enables us to do other things that other networks cannot do. So just one other example, you may know that there is a thing called the dispute resolution mechanism in Q. So whenever there is a fight between two parties that, about the rules of the constitution, there is a way to resolve that, which involves an arbitration procedure that is private, so you don't need to bother your local courts. Sometimes that's something that we unfortunately see increasingly in other crypto ecosystems. But there is a mechanism within the Q protocol how to resolve that. And it can involve some off-chain ruling of an arbitration court like the ICC, International Chamber of Commerce. And then that off-chain information is then translated into an on-chain action, such as slashing or transfer of funds from an escrow account. And that is also done by the root nodes. So just two examples of what they're doing or what their role is within Q. So right now, I believe there are 18 root nodes, if the last count is right. Maybe it's even 19 by now. And the number is increasing quite steadily. And it's quite a diverse set of people and institutions, ranging from blockchain infrastructure providers, validators, to lawyers, academics, universities, crypto investors. So it's quite diverse, both in terms of what their background is, but also diverse in terms of geography. So I think today there are 4 continents represented: Europe, Africa, Asia, and America. We're missing South America still. We're missing Australia. So if you know anyone on those continents who could be interested, let them know. And the process of becoming a root node is that you need to apply on chain. So you need to submit a proposal on chain, and then the community votes on it. There are guidelines as to the selection of the root nodes, but ultimately it's a community decision. So everyone who owns even a fraction of a queue can make their voice heard and can participate in root node elections.
So it's new. It's a new topic, this root node. Is there when you would make it very, very short, what is the story behind the idea of a root node? When you make it very short.
Yeah. So very short, the idea is that what we want to achieve is that on queue, you can do everything that you can do in the real world in terms of contracts and business models without leaving this decentralized world. So it's a full scope governance system, all within the decentralized world, and not with having to go back to local court systems and arbitrary multi-sig decisions, as we unfortunately still see in many protocols.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But you just mentioned there are 18 or 19 root nodes, and there is some days ago there was a new root node coming. Can you explain who that is or what he's doing? Because you just mentioned he has to apply on chain, so this comes with something with a document or whatever. So who is this new root node in general?
Yeah. So in the last couple of weeks, I think we've had 2 new root nodes. And by the way, it's all public, so you can all see them. You need to go to hq.q.org, the front end where you can participate in the queue governance. And there is a section which is called governance, and there you have all the root node applications. And with each applications, there is a link where the party applying provides information about who they are. So in the last 2 weeks, there have been 2 new ones, as I said. I think the latest one is Nika Schmidt, completely unrelated to me, by the way. So for those of you who are not familiar with German last names, Schmidt is the most common name in Germany. So I haven't known her before. She's a crypto lawyer based in Munich. Very experienced, has been advising other protocols before, and got very much interested in the Q protocol because it provides solutions that many lawyers in the crypto space are looking for. That's one. The other one that came recently, I think 10 days ago or something like that, is Nethermind. Now, Nethermind is a company that's, I guess, best described as providing crypto infrastructure and a very engineering and, I guess, computer science focused company. You might know them if you're in the Ethereum ecosystem. If you look at the different Ethereum clients, they produce an Ethereum client called Nethermind, as the company is called, which I believe is the second most used client on the Ethereum network. Also, I think it's on other networks, I believe Gnosis. So they're really deep into the tech, deep into client research and engineering, but also provide a lot of other services in the crypto space, really software focused, engineering focused. So, I think what you're getting from this is that there is a very diverse skill set, and we need those different skills in the root node panel. So we have like lawyers, hardcore crypto lawyers, and we have hardcore crypto engineers, and we need both.
Yeah, you need this experience to make a good summary of root nodes and skills, right? So it's when everyone has the same skills, it wouldn't serve the purpose of a big root node summary or a big root node crowd, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. One role on Discord, as example, is called expert panel. So some people see expert panels, some people are new to the Discord, and some people also ask themselves, what is a panel expert or expert panel, Martin?
Yeah, sure. So expert panels are, as the name suggests, they should be expert in a certain topic, and they can provide input to certain decisions within the Q protocol. So right now there are 3 expert panels. One is the fees and incentives expert panels. So they provide input or parameters on, for example, transaction fees within the Q protocol. Then there is the DeFi risk expert panel. Again, as the name suggests, it provides input on the Q DeFi system. So things like, interest rates or collateral ceilings, loan to value ratios, and those kind of parameters. And the last one is the root node selection experts panel, which provides input to root nodes that apply to become a root node. The idea being that while the root nodes are elected by Q token holders, the Q token holders could benefit from receiving input to the applications. So basically, if you don't want to do all the research yourself, you get an opinion by this root node selection expert panel as to the qualifications of the root node. And this is basically a service to the Q community that this expert panel provides. And similarly to the root nodes, if you want to become an expert, if you're interested, you need to apply on chain. So you submit a proposal on chain, provide info to your background, why you think you're qualified and why you're interested. And then it's a token holder vote. So the experts are elected by the community.
Great. So it's totally decentralized, right? It's so it's not just that just people come and say, hey, I have this, I have this. No, they have to apply for it and the community has to vote for it before they actually can become a root node or an expert panel or whatever. So it's very community based.
Exactly, yes. And it's admin key free. So unlike in some other protocols where you have admin keys that are held by certain individuals, in Q that's not the case, but all the decision makers come out of the community. And if the community is not happy, they can be kicked out. So that's the rule.
As hard as it sounds, but it's also a safety mechanism to keep it safe, to keep it clean, and so on, right? So it's kicking out sounds so hard, let's say, but it's a safe and fair mechanism.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have seen hacks where multisigs have been used or admin keys have been abused, I should probably say. So it really, I didn't want that to sound bad. I think it's the exact opposite. It's as you say, it's a safety feature of Q, and it's also a setup that ensures that we don't, Q as a protocol doesn't get in the way with any laws or regulation. So recently, we've seen quite a bit of pushback, and rightly so, I think, from enforcement agencies or regulators around the world. So if there's an admin key somewhere, there is a high likelihood that this is against some law in some country and can cause problems.
Yeah, all this comes with development. So people. Wait, my chair makes noise. People have to work on it. There has to be development to introduce those features or to implement them and so on. So is there Dino? Is there any news regarding the ecosystem? Something new or that you can share with the community?
There are some things that I can share. Some of those things you can already see when you scroll down on our website. You go to Chamber and then have a beautiful preview of the ecosystem map. Maybe you can see the Liberland logo. Maybe we haven't had best introduction when adding them to the ecosystem map, so maybe I can talk right now more about them. First of all, to introduce them, who they are and what they do. So Vít Jedlička, that's the name of the Czech politician who started the idea of Liberland back, I think, 10 years ago. The idea is to create a micronation. There's a land between Croatia and Serbia, which they started working on from a legal aspect, to create actually the first country in a metaverse, or the first governance in a metaverse. So they are now switching their physical land, because it's a very small plot of the land. They are switching to a metaverse, and it has been ongoing for 10 years. The overall idea and the implementation of their own governance model has been in the last 2 years, as far as I know. So Q, obviously, as we are both in the same field, or we have the same passion for decentralized governance, we are in contact with them, and we actually signed the MOU. We would like to help them if they are successful with their vision and goal. Currently, they do have 600,000 applications for the citizenship, and they're expanding their reputation across the globe. So, yes, we are trying to help any governance models that exist, and this one really does sound interesting. And if the potential is there, why not have this partnership going under the hood? So hopefully in the future you will hear more about Liberland partnership that we are working on, and have nice information about it. Not only Liberland, we have some other things that are already done. For example, we have from Distributed Labs, there is an NFT marketplace. That's going to be the first marketplace that is going to be launched on Q. That marketplace is very unique or specific because it covers books, or it's going to be a book NFT marketplace with unique features that artists that will be deploying books around the world, they can also have it as an NFT deployed in Q. The first book will actually be Q Constitution. We believe that's a very cool way to start the marketplace, right? And all the artists can actually make each book unique, because they can handwritten or make other notes or signatures on the first page of the book. So please stay tuned, as we'll be announcing that on our social media channels. So you'll get a link and explore it more. In addition to that, when I was in Paris and in Denver, I spoke with other artists that are interested in this idea. So we'll be bringing more and more people to actually deploy books on our NFT marketplace. I think the next one would be the next development would be Wrapper. Wrapper is a platform to launch and mint legal NFTs, such as limited liability legal wrappers for DAOs and wallets. Maybe Martin can bring more clarity and more information on that part. Martin?
Yeah, sure. So Wrapper is a protocol that's been developed by Kali DAO, which is mainly people from LexDAO, with whom we've I mentioned earlier, I think, in the call, with whom we've done workshops at East Denver as well. And yeah, what it does, as Dino said, it's a legal protocol that allows you to mint a legal wrapper on chain. So you can, a DAO can spin up a legal entity fully on chain and use that for its DAOs. So the reasons for doing so can be quite varied. It can cover things like liability of key personnel, but also very practical things like, if a DAO wants to interact with the outside world, typically you need some legal structure or a company. A DAO per se cannot do trades with, in dollars, let's say, cannot open a bank account and those things. And what REPA does is it makes it very, very easy for a DAO to set up a legal entity to do exactly those things. So if you want, it's a kind of DAO tooling, a DAO primitive that's now deployed on Q. So it's already usable. There will be improvements in the coming weeks. We'll also do some joint workshops for people who want to learn more. So again, stay tuned. But you can already use it today. That's live on Q.
Nice. So we spoke right now about news regarding the ecosystem. So let's watch a little bit into the future. What is currently in the works? So what are the developers or the people currently working on, Martin?
Yeah, sure. So I think first remark is that just a reminder that everyone who wants to build on Q can already do so. And also, if you want to get involved in protocol development, make proposals, improve the protocol, everyone is welcome to do so. So everything's open source, everything's permissionless. So we're really counting on you as the community to contribute to the protocol. Having said that, just maybe a concrete thing that's in development currently that people are working on, and that's quite a big step for Q as a protocol, is QID. So if you've read the white paper or read the constitution, that's a concept that's already in those documents. So kind of a roadmap topic that is quite important for Q. One of the reasons being that it's a critical element for the Q governance in the future. So having the ability for people to prove that they're unique humans, that opens up new possibilities how you can do votings on Q. So you can have, instead of one token, one vote, you can have one person, one vote, type of governance decisions, or you can have veto rights by individuals. And that is already written in the Q Constitution, or foreshadowed, if you will, in the Q Constitution as well in the white paper, but still under development. And as you can probably guess, the topic of decentralized identities isn't easy. A lot of people are working on it. So we're also benefiting, of course, from work that other people in the ecosystem are doing. We're contributing to that work. Again, everything will be open source, so it's not a closed shop. But that's something that's currently being under development, and hopefully we'll have an MVP later this year. But again, it's a long-term development project that from the first iteration will certainly need further improvements. So we're also there counting to the community to, once we have a first version, to test it, to provide feedback so that it can be further improved. But it's a very exciting development for me, because I think the whole topic of ID, decentralized identities, already is and will even become more so very important, and opens up a lot of new possibilities in the space.
Yeah, thank you. So we are almost at the end. There are some questions from the community. First of all, I would like to mention again that that summer is coming and you shouldn't be sunburned, and that's why you can win 3 sunglasses in Q style. You have to go on Call Question channel. It's directly over the stage channel. There is a little giveaway. You just have to click on participate. That's all, and the winner will be chosen in like 15 minutes. We will contact the winner over Discord ticket. So just stay active, and we will get back to you. But Martin, there are some questions regarding the expert panel. First of all, I would like to mention again that this call is not really all about ITN. So I know every one of you is very excited for the ITN, and it actually ends today. So I would ask you to be patient, because we have to check the data. We can't make any statements right now. So there will be another community call regarding the ITN. Just stay patient, wait for announcements. I know it's tickling you. You want to know more infos, but yeah, unfortunately you have to wait a little bit. But there are questions regarding the expert panel, Martin, and the one question would be: are there plans to add new expert panels in the near future?
So that's a really great question, because so the simple answer is that anyone can propose a new expert panel. So it's it's not a limited number of expert panels, but it's a principle, it's a concept that can be multiplied to include more expert panels. So if there is a need for an expert panel, then it's a constitution change. So you need to make a proposal for the expert panel, and if the community thinks that's useful, then it will be implemented. Right now, I am not aware of any concrete proposals on that. So the answer is that, at least not that I'm aware of. I mean, it could be that there are people working on specific expert panels that I'm not aware of, but at least I'm not aware of expert panels that are currently being set up. Having said that, I know there have been discussions about things like expert panels for disputes. So it could be the case that, just to give you an example, that someone thinks it's useful to have a specific expert panel that deals with disputes such as escrow agreements. So just to give you a sense of what is possible, and then you could have those involved in resolving disputes. But as I said, currently I'm not aware of any new ones that are currently being developed. But again, everyone can make a proposal. But I guess it should always come from a market need. So any input that is required or that could be useful, expert panels can be developed and set up.
Okay. What is the? I mean, I think you already explained it, but this question was also in the chat. It was what is the reasoning to adding an expert panel? So maybe you can dive into this topic again for a short summary.
Yeah, sure. So the idea behind expert panels is that there are certain decisions that require expert knowledge. So things like setting parameters in a DeFi system, those are typically not decisions where it makes a lot of sense to have the whole community vote on it, because you need to spend quite a bit of time on those systems. So it's not questions that the wisdom of the crowd can answer very well. So the idea is that the Q community, so all token holders, delegate those types of decisions to experts. So it's a way for the community to make sure that decisions that require expert knowledge are made by experts in the specific field. But technically, it also makes the protocol more robust, not because the quality of the decisions improves, but also it avoids situations where you have very low voter turnout, and then it becomes easy to corrupt certain parameters or certain decisions. So that's a thing that we have seen with other protocols. If there are too many token holder votes, I mean, if you're being asked to vote 3 times a week on stuff that maybe you don't really care that much about, then it becomes very contentious sometimes, because you have small factions that are taking over certain aspects of the protocol, and potentially even could corrupt the protocol, all the way to stealing funds, or basically doing governance hacks, getting their own shitcoins into DeFi system. That's stuff that we've seen in other protocols, and that we want to avoid with the expert panels.
I think that was a great quick summary. So we came almost to the end. I have a little gimmick for the people on crew 3. So 20 minutes ago, they opened a task regarding the community call. When you want to do that task, I would advise you to make a screenshot right now from yourself and from us as speakers, of course, and submit the screenshot in the crew 3 task. And I will check it after the call and will approve the people who are actually participated in the community call. So I would say it was nice. 50 minutes. We talked about some exciting and interesting topics. New events are coming. 2023 just begun. We are one day away from April. So the year is early. Martin and Dino, do you want to make a final word before we end the call?
Yes, I would like to say that I'm really happy to see that the efforts of the team who is actually supporting the development of Q project is manifesting in recognition, community growth, and ecosystem development. So it's really nice to be part of it. Thank you, everybody.
From me, just to thank you for everyone participating. It's really great to see so many people in the call. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for the questions, and hope to stay engaged.
Yeah, for me as well. It's great to see so many people, and it's getting more and more every time, and it's beautiful to see such a development also in the community, and active channels, active community members. And let's wait for the next call, or for new news to discuss, new topics, and have a nice day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.